Just have come back from Collision 2022. 35,000 people, not just from Toronto or Canada, but from all over the world who were there.
I have to agree with Amy on that. It's really the democratization of the creator economy.
In this video, I'll talk about what Collision is, what were the highlights, and what was there for me. So to begin with, what is Collision? Collision is this massive event that goes on in Toronto. You can see all these signs all over Toronto City. Toronto is a big city, but Collision's venue is located here. The venue, the exhibition center, is huge. Like, look at the line of food trucks. This goes on and on and on. You can't imagine the scale of this event. The venue is located outside of downtown Toronto. So to get there, you need to use Ubers, taxis, or maybe these town cars or subways. So Toronto is a big city, as you probably know. There's so much to see and watch, not just the event, but what's going on. Also, a lot of the after parties happen in downtown Toronto. There's one hotel called Hotel X that's right in front of the venue. You can see the star mark. But you need to decide whether you want to be downtown or at Hotel X. These are the official numbers from Collision. You can see that there are more than 35,000 people attending from 130 countries, and half of them are female. So there's a very diverse audience coming to Toronto, to Collision. I saw a booth from Toronto, Durham, Brampton, Quebec, Luxembourg, Ukraine, Hungary, Costa Rica, and Japan. Collision has its own app, and if you click on it, you can see all these tracks. There's about robots, sports, remote work. There's so many things going on. And these are all the talks, or roundtables, or pitches that go on during this whole 3-day event. It's just massive contents. So you need to choose like which you want to attend, because some of them are far away that you cannot get to them like right after each other. Let me show you a glimpse of what went on in Collision.
We don't expect people to invest because it's the right thing to do or because it's charity.
What are your customers doing? Are they showing an instinct to stay remote?
Other diseases because they have no cures. For these unmet needs, we are identifying key proteins that...
A lot going on in Collision. What were the highlights for me? First point was the situation of equity finance. Now that we're going into a recession, I wanted to understand what VCs were thinking and the funding situation. Second point was the metaverse. There's so much discussion about metaverse, how it's going to evolve. And lastly, there's so many interesting startups in fintech, in health, etc. So why did I join Collision? What was there for me? Originally, I was just excited about this huge event. Casey, the co-host of Collision, had just me really excited that I just had to see this event. But after that, he also introduced me to Dan, CEO of Frontier Collective, a very interesting organization. And I got to be able to meet their team and be able to work with them during the event. That opportunity gave me a chance to meet all these wonderful companies from Vancouver. Cassandra, the CEO of Frontier Collective, does a wonderful introduction. So let me show you the video.
I'm Cassandra Linklater, COO at Frontier Collective, and I will be your host this afternoon. Now, as we get into discussing the technology of tomorrow, it is my privilege to speak today about the Frontier Collective and our mission to make Vancouver the epicenter of innovation in frontier technology. Before I get into it, I'll start with how I ended up here today and why I'm so passionate about the space. I was incredibly lucky to come from the intersection of art and technology, with a mother who was a visual artist who was obsessed with video games, and my father was a futurist before that was a title. One of my first memories is him taking me down to what was originally BC Tel's head office called The Boot. He'd take me into the mainframe rooms and profess that one day, instead of traveling to space, we'd be traveling in our computer. He talked about the virtual world and how in it we could be anything we dreamed. 20 years later, I found myself in education technology, launching Canada's largest virtual university fairs a decade too early. And a decade after that, I'm on a mission here with the Frontier Collective to see that better world be built. Before I get into our mission, I thought I'd take a moment to explain what we mean by this. Frontier technologies are changing how we experience reality, interact with each other, and live our daily lives. They encompass everything from AI to AR/VR, climate tech, biotech, agri-tech, and 5G innovations. They're multidisciplinary, well-researched, and on the brink of mass adoption. As we enter the fourth industrial age, they were horizontally revolutionize practically all industries. As Tiff Malcolm, the governor of the Bank of Canada, recently stated, technology is no longer a sector, it's every sector. The explosion of growth and market size speaks for themselves. By 2030, AI is projected to reach 1.6 trillion, metaverse tech over 2 trillion, and climate tech's market cap is going to supersede oil and gas by 2025. Frontier technologies are thriving in BC. Vancouver has the second largest AR/VR industry globally, the second largest AI industry nationally, second largest clean tech industry, and is a world-leading cluster of film, TV, visual effects, and some of the largest studios, including Disney, Microsoft, EA, and Weta just announced that they're opening up new studios. We are home to the global leader, Dapper Labs. Shall we give them a shout out from yesterday? Woo! The global antibody leader of Celera, and we're producing exponentially more frontier tech unicorns every year. I think that we're at 16 now. It's insane. We aren't sure if something's been added to the water, but Vancouver is on the cusp of massive changes. More people now work in tech than forestry, mining, and oil and gas combined. BC employs about 100,000 tech professionals, with 75,000 in the Lower Mainland alone. Vancouver has the opportunity to lead the world in frontier tech and usher in a new wave of transformation, innovation, and economic prosperity. And that's where the Frontier Collective comes in. Born out of both frustration and opportunity, the Frontier Collective came together to build a movement to help Vancouver become the premier destination for bleeding edge tech. We believe now is the time to push innovation and growth forward in the region. This coalition of leaders in tech, culture, and community are driving towards the development and support of these technologies. As a non-traditional organization, we aim to promote the region's tech industry on the world stage, including here at Collision, to grow investment in infrastructure for early stage companies and attract diverse talent into the region. We've got some pretty ambitious goals at the Frontier Collective. First, we focus on telling the stories of our thriving ecosystem. We aim to grow the ecosystem to make it a top 5 global leader by 2030. And then finally, we are focused on building the Noah's Ark of frontier tech innovation. But
We saw so many Vancouver companies: VanHack, CoinChain, Scoutsu, Commit, Voxel Bioinnovation, Watif, Parvis, Zaniza, Meanful Work, Reusables, Yield Exchange, Cycrid Technologies, Making Auto Easy, Avani, Mixmob, Dying, SmartBin, Solaris, MLS, SST Wireless, OmniSearch, Pocketed, Atlas One, GingerDesk, and Goose Insurance. I found 26 Vancouver companies. I'm sure I missed some, I'm sorry if I did, but really amazing to see so many. Also saw a lot of Dan, Frontier Collective CEO, in roundtables and in talks.
We're at the technological revolution within frontier tech in general. We're seeing all these technologies intersect with each other: artificial intelligence, blockchain, Web3, and I really feel like we've got a really special moment in the history of technology, and we're probably about 3 to 5 years away from more of a consumer adoption curve to virtual and augmented reality. So we're all kind of waiting for this Apple moment to happen. I think it's still going to be probably about 2 to 3 years before we do see glasses that look like this, that have spatial computing within it. But I really do feel it's a future of communication.
Frontier Collective did an amazing event in downtown Toronto. So many people came to the party. It was wonderful. I think more than 400 people came. It was a blast. Amazing party. thank you, Kate and William from Vancouver Tech Journal, for giving the speech. Thank you everyone that came by. I hope you had fun. And lastly, Casey, the co-host of Collision, thank you for hosting such a wonderful event and making this happen.
Frontier Collective will be doing many events, including the One Frontier Summit in August. So make sure you follow Frontier Collective's social media, Instagram and Twitter. I'd like to see more startups, companies join Collision and other large exhibitions so that the world will know more about Vancouver and its potential. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be posting more about Vancouver and startups in the future. So if you like these videos, please subscribe and like this video. See you next time.